Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of talk about the Tower of Adversity, about how it's one of the worst endgame modes in gacha gaming, just because of this simple idea that it's just a gear check. That you need to grind so long and so hard for a perfect set of echoes to be able to clear endgame content. And I decided to go ahead, right, and basically grief a viewer's account. They gave me permission to do it, but I did in fact grief a viewer's account. This is what their Jinsei is looking like in the middle of a clear, so don't worry about the attack being kind of high. They have one of the worst crit ratios I've ever seen in gacha gaming, and this is how we got there. We have a Jue that sucks ass, has 2 usable substats. A Hikari with 2 usable substats and no crit, no attack. This is probably the best echo. We randomly just plus 25 tuned a bunch of random echoes. This one is passable, right? It's only missing crit rate and it's a decent one, but it's still not great. Complete garbage with 2 usable substats. And this has just attack. Everything else is turning Jinsei into a tank. And we're going to be using her most free-to-play budget team, right? With Rejuvenating Glow and the Originite Gauntlets, as well as, right, a Moonlit Clouds Varina with, you know, she's slotted for damage, but let's be honest, guys, she's not really doing anything. She's just there with the battery intro skills. And so with that, I decided, hey, why don't we take this into the endgame mode? Why don't we see if it can actually clear and take that whole gear check idea and see whether or not it's actually true. I've admittedly had very little practice with this team. I usually use a character like Jeja or I use a character like Yinlin when I'm playing my Jinseis. And so don't worry if the gameplay's a little bit rough. Just know that whatever I'm doing, you can probably actually play better. So with that, let's get right on into it.
Fast and starving. So be it. Evil be cleansed.
Joint operation. Turn to my advantage.
Luminous energy. Imitation. Together we fight. Thunder guidance. Sacred light.
Joint operation. Resistance is futile.
Strike is one. Lesson ends.
Okay, we're just going through.
Joint operation.
Bask in the sunlight. Imitation. Together we fight. Take form. Sacred light.
Pumping out as much damage as we can, and we're still getting some decent crits.
Ha! Listen up. Strike is one. Oh, stars, heed my calling. Evil be cleansed.
Joint operation. Overwhelming power. Turn to my advantage.
Life is in everything. Ha! Imitation.
So you can see I already messed up there.
Together we fight. Take form. Fast and starlight. Lesson ends.
Joint operation.
Strike is one. Sacred light.
Joint operation. Hear the thunder. Turn to my advantage.
Notice luminous energy. Imitate. Together we fight. Take form.
So we're close.
Lesson ends.
We're close.
Rock all directions. Drop.
All right, we need to reset that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the next gear check, I've got some amazing, amazing new echo investments ready for you guys. It's gonna be Carla and Tachi. And as you can see from the stat page that we're looking at over here, this Carlotta is not even close to optimized. 128 ER, which is going to be nice for working with Tachi, but a blazing, amazing 88.7, 162.6. She's on Static Mist. Tachi is going to be on almost no investment. A level 1 Discord. That is thankfully R5, but pretty much nothing else aside from that. And Verena, of course, is just going to be
Hopefully,
on
we'll make new
Rejuvenating Glow with a
findings.
variation. So with that, we're going to test out this team in the middle tower, because we can safely say this team should actually not deal very much damage at all. Let's get into it.
Surrender.
Gonna need every bit of damage that we can.
Victory, guide my blade. We're fast in the sunlight.
Finally, a team that I can play, ladies and gentlemen.
My compliments. You will yield. The world is mine.
We didn't crit there with 80%.
In the name of the Montellis. Still recognize your back. This is my ground. Mommy! Luminous energy. The fruit of evolution. I got your back.
How reliable.
The stage is set. Glory demands more.
Hitting decent amounts, and that's the power of an outro skill, ladies and gentlemen. That is the power of an outro skill, ladies and gentlemen.
Still
I got your
recognize
back.
me.
Attack is the best defense.
Watch out! Well, life is in everything. The fruit of evolution.
I got your back. How
My
reliable.
Found your weak spot. Brilliance lights the way. Victory favors me.
Would you look at that?
Complete.
Hmm.
Improvise.
A gear check, huh?
Still
I got your
recognize
back.
me.
Victory, guide my blade.
Bask in the sunlight. The fruit of evolution.
I got your back.
My
How
compliments.
reliable.
Take this! You will yield. Glory demands more.
And that should clear it. Boom.
Surrender.
And would you look at that? Now that we have an outro skill that actually buffs us, we take the slowest outro skiller in the game, our Carlotta with almost no investment at all, and we just simply 3-star it. Guys, this Carlotta is on one of the worst builds possible. You have 160% critical damage, and we're simply 3-starring the tower with a Tachi that doesn't have an actual build at all. These two characters, frankly, are not built. These two characters are not built, and we 3-starred the tower. So what's the issue here when it comes to the Tower of Adversity? The thing is, having an outro skill, right? Something like this, where I can amplify the main damage that my character is dealing, that's going to be super important. And that's why the Jinxie and the Yanwu team had so many problems. Because guess what? Yanwu doesn't amplify any damage at all with his outro skill. Tachi does. And even with her incredibly slow rotation time, with the power of Moonlit Clouds, and let's just take a look at this build, ladies and gentlemen.
Whether it's for
A
show
Carlotta
or for
on
battle.
Static Mist, which is just a stat stick at this point, and some of the worst echoes you've ever seen. Some of the worst echoes you've ever seen. We're going in and we're clearing the content. So many dead substats on this build, and we're still clearing the content. We're doing 30k per shot. We're critting for 162.6% damage. I have a crit rate weapon, and I also have a crit rate echo. The numbers aren't even matching up, and we're still 3-starring the content when our sub DPS is dealing absolutely no damage as well with a level 1 weapon on. And you know what? You want to know what's crazy as well? Some people said the tower buff, the coordinated attacks, yeah, that probably helped out a little bit, right? Because we have Arena. But this is the thing. We don't even have a resistance reduction bonus. And Jinxie did. Jinxie had a resistance reduction bonus, and we don't even have the Glacial one, and we're 3-starring that. with the Tachi. And so this is the thing, guys. It turns out that the tower might not actually just be a gear check. It turns out that it might be a roster check in terms of you're not matching up the right characters together, or you're simply not triggering your buffs properly. You guys also have to keep in mind that these coordinated attacks, this buff only lasts 3 seconds. And you want to know how long Verena's coordinated attacks last? They last 12 seconds. And so guess what? This buff from the tower is running out during my Taochi's rotation. And so Carlotta really isn't even getting the full buffs from our bonuses here. She's not getting the full buffs at all from the tower. And so this is basically an unbuffed Carlotta going in with the outro buffs of Taochi and destroying the tower. That is what this is. And so you can view it this way. Carlotta is way more budget friendly than Jinxie, primarily due to the fact that Carlotta, with some of the worst investment you've ever seen, with a Taochi, is going to be able to clear the tower. On the 5-star weapon, the standard 5-star weapon, that has basically no weapon effect for her. It's just a stat stick. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully that has helped dispel some of these ideas that the ToA is purely a gear check, that there's no skill involved, and that you just have to reach a certain level of echoes or investment to clear. It's not even close to that. Just build your teams properly, and the clears can only get easier from here. This is some of the worst echo building you've ever seen on the character before, and we're still clearing the content. That's just what it is. And at this point, if you're making the excuse that, oh, I need perfect echoes, I just need to grind more to clear, that just means you literally are not even trying. You want the game to play itself for you. So just learn the rotations, learn the team building, and you'll figure it out, even without perfect echo investment. Peace out.